Hey guys, welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you the ultimate guide for Alsa. I've been exclusively using her throughout the whole season so far to better understand her, to give you the complete information to help you understand everything in her kit to determine if you would like to pull for this hero. First off, we're just going to go through her skills. Her ultimate, this is Twirling Rocks. This is where Alsa jumps into the ball and she rolls forward and smacks the enemy that she's targeting. Now that initial roll that she does, when she collides with the target, she becomes stationary at that position and she enters combat stance until the end of the battle. And that combat stance is important because it triggers one of her later skills. When she's in that combat stance, and every ultimate after that is Vigorous Slam. And then when she hits the target, a new target after that, when she's in combat stance, that position that she became in, she'll always return back to that position. So what I've noticed is the initial ultimate, she'll shoot across the field onto the enemy side, hit them, and she'll stay stationary right there on their side. And as long as she's not getting targeted, she'll continue to stay in that location and she'll be bouncing back and forward when she's hitting people. Now, if she's on their side of the field and she gets targeted, once she gets targeted and she takes damage, she does her tactical retreat. And that's where she'll jump back onto your side of the field. So there's two different skills that can be used. It can be the Vigorous Slam or the Swift Evasion. That's the tactical retreat where she'll jump away. But the tactical retreat can only happen, I have it upgraded with her weapon where it can only happen once every 6 seconds. So, and the Swift Evasion automatically overrides her Vigorous Slam, her ultimate. So if she gets hit, it consumes all of her energy that she has stored up to retreat back to your side, and then she has to start building up energy again to be able to cast her ultimate. Now this is the most ideal thing is if she gets hit once and she retreats back to your side, because she's in combat stance, because she's casted the first ultimate. Now, every time she casts her ultimate, she's always going to slingshot back to your side of the field. The only issue with this ultimate is when you're pushing those really high deficits to the point where if she jumps onto the other side of the field, and if she gets hit one time, and if the hit is too great, she can die in one hit. So that's the only downfall. However, if she survives that initial hit to where she can do her Swift Evasion and retreat back to your side of the field, this character is probably the character that gains the ultimate the fastest out of any character in the game. She will be constantly slingshotting back and forward by casting her ultimate about every 2 to 3 seconds. And she just keeps doing that the whole time. And that's when she starts to really ramp up her damage, is when she's slingshotting back and forward. Moving on to her next ability. This is just her normal ability that she just randomly casts. This is the Stone Barrier. This is the very first attack she casts when the battle starts. She has that little energy ball and then she slams it down into the ground. And what that does is it creates 3 basically rocks that shoot out of the ground right at the target. And it shoots the target back 1 tile. And then those 3 will stay there on the field. They don't block any damage whatsoever. What they do is it makes it to where the enemies have to path around it. So if it's a melee person, then they have to walk around it. And then she'll cast it again, and she'll do another 3 spikes on the ground. So you can only have a maximum of 6 at a time on the ground. And then when she does do this, it does stun the target. And it's just a short stun, but that also triggers into her next ability. So Alsa can sense the vibrations of the ley line located on all enemies affected by any control effect. We're talking about freezes, burns, taunts, knockbacks, anything that puts a status effect on somebody. She triggers this rolling boulder ability, and what it does is you'll notice you get these rocks that are forming above the heads of the enemy, and they'll form there for a couple of seconds, and then they slam down and do damage. And it does seem like, it doesn't say here, but there has to be like a little internal cooldown, because it doesn't just chain over and over. You'll see it go above their head, it slams down, does a decent amount of damage in PvE. Now in PvP, it absolutely destroys in PvP, but in PvE, it really doesn't do that much damage. And then it has like a little internal cooldown by a couple of seconds, and then when the next crowd controlling effect goes out, you'll see those rocks form again, and then they'll fall back down, and then just rinse and repeats throughout the whole time. Now Hero's Focus, this is just a passive. It increases her haste by 10 right when the battle starts. And then the other 6, this is that combat stance. So after she casts that first ultimate, once that first ultimate is done, that is when she enters combat stance. And then for the rest of the battle, you'll have the other additional 6. And then the next ability, this is her exclusive weapon. So this goes hand in hand with the second one. So this goes with her Vigorous Slam, where it increases the damage. And so, like I said, this is the second ultimate of the match, is when you get Vigorous Slam. And it increases the damage by 50%, and it can stack up to 2 times. Also, it increases, so this is where if she gets hit and she does that tactical retreat, it increases the HP value by 5%, and it can also stack up 2 times. And then if you upgrade it, it just reduces the energy cost, reduces the cooldown of her tactical retreat, and then increases the damage again by another additional 55%. This is basically enhancing the rolling boulders. So that's going to be the little rocks that form above their head. So the only downfall with these two, the rolling boulder and the enhanced force, is if they're immune to crowd controls. So we're talking about like the realm bosses. This does nothing because they're immune to crowd control. So this will never trigger in a realm boss. Now her seasonal ability combo, this is up almost the whole time. After she casts her first ultimate, she deals increased damage for the next 4 skill casts or normal attacks. You'll get 2, sometimes 3 attacks off, and then she does her ultimate. So this never comes down. She will have this on her the whole time the battle is going. For PvE, she's been doing all right. But like I said, except when you're pushing really high deficits, and the initial ultimate, if she gets into a bad position, like especially if it's a melee person, and they just turn and they smack her one time, she's dead. Now, if you can get it to where her initial attack is like on a ranged person or a caster, because when the battle starts, that ranged person is already locked on to a unit on your side of the field. So that that is what you need to do, is have her locked onto like a range or caster person, and then she ramps up. So it takes about 5-10 seconds for her to really start ramping up, where she just starts popping off, and that's where she's going like a ping pong ball, just back and forward on the field. Now, if you can only get 1 or 2 copies of her, it's not recommended. You have to, it's either you go all out for her or you just skip her. And PvP is where she does the best. So we can go over here, get us a match real quick. Let's see here. Let's try to get somebody around our power. Let's see what their team is. Okay. So let's take a look here to see how their setup is. So they're using fire, so I mean, I just use this so that way it stuns the whole team constantly. Okay. Let's see, we're gonna put Odie over here. Okay. Now we need somebody for Vala to attack. We're gonna get rid of Odie.
Let's team up and do this.
Do this. Get rid of Ronan.
The world needs balance.
No, let's see. Let's see. We definitely don't want to do that. Trying to make it to where we can get somebody over on our side, but not like looks like it's going to happen. So we'll do this, and I guess we'll just keep Ronan. Okay, here we go. All right. So she did her little initial stun. The rocks fell down, hit them. She's going in to do her ultimate. Took out Cecia. Now she's standing right here. So if she takes enough damage, she will do her tactical retreat. She tactical retreated to a new area. So that's her new area that she'll be at. So every time she ultimates, she slings shots back to that location. She did another one of her slam downs, which makes the rocks above their head. They slam down and kill, and then she ultimates again. And then she just keeps ultimating, but she did a tactical retreat over into the new position. And you can see how easy that was. And I mean, if we look at the damage chart here, it's going to be, I can guarantee you, she did the most damage. Odie always does the most damage in all the realm bosses, but in PvP, she destroys. So there it is. Okay, we'll go over into the realm boss real quick. And we'll do one realm boss and you'll see the difference. But Odie is still the champion when it comes to the realm boss. This is the setup that I use to get my high score. You can't get rid of Thorn in this one, no matter how many times I've tried, because he has to take the double hits. Have Smokey here for the healing, and a Tundra. So the only reason why I'm using her is so she takes the second hit. Now, some people will say, well, you know, you could be shredding defense, but that's only physical defense. Both of these units are magical. And I have been using the new seasonal artifact. This one is the one that shreds magic defense. So it just increases their damage by a lot. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. So there's the rocks. So it didn't do no stun. Can't do status effects on any of these bosses. She is going to ultimate in. She's going to stand right there. She took damage. Tactical retreat it out. And this is where you want her. Because Thorn's going to be the first one to die. Then Atandra is going to be the second one to die. And then she'll be the third one to die. And you can see, so those little symbols swirling around her, that's the seasonal combo skill. And it never goes away. So every time she does an ultimate, it just, so that she used 3 of them, comes back, and now she has 4 again. And it just keeps doing that the whole time throughout the whole battle. Okay. Thorn's gonna die here in a second, probably. And this is the shredding of the magic defense every time you do that. So Thorn died. Atandra is going to be the next one to die. Okay. Yep. Damage ramping up here. Smokey's probably going to get 1 shot on the next group AoE. Oh, here it comes. Nope, nope. Okay. You got 19 seconds left. And doesn't look like I'm going to get a new record here. So I got 235 million. I don't remember what my high was. 247. So that's basically her in a nutshell. I mean, she does do pretty good in the AFK stage pushing, as long as you can get past that initial ultimate of wherever she chooses to jump in on their side. And as long as she can survive the initial hit and she jumps back out, then she does do pretty good. So we'll speed it up here a little bit. So she jumped in. She has the full life bar. So she got hit, so she's getting hit here now. She still hasn't tactical retreated yet. So but she did pop her shield. And this is the biggest downfall of her. If her initial ultimate would just make her come back to your side of the field, I would say that would make her 10 times better than what she currently is. That is her one and only downfall that she has. So we'll just do one more AFK stage and then we'll wrap up this video. I just want to thank everybody that's, been watching. Relatively new to this. I still learning everything, and want to thank any of the repeat viewers. If you guys like this type of videos, I think the next breakdown I was going to do of Odie, and I was just going to do the characters that I have their artifact weapon at least level 10, and then just slowly go through all the characters as I get them to level 10. I don't know if you're aware of it. They did do a nerf to all the true damage. So Marilee and Corrin got an extremely big nerf going into the new season. So if you haven't started the season yet, you are going to notice there's going to be a huge nerf with Marilee and Corrin when you start the new season. And it's going to be magic damage people are the ones that are doing most of the damage. But if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I just want to thank you and have a good one. We'll see you in the next one.